little for me to read anyway.
Kind of hard for me to see it too. It's got me about a year or two, I think.
Maybe, not much.
My name is John Jackson. I reside at 312 Olympic Drive here in Rockport. And I suspect I may be the citizen with the longest tenure of everyone in this audience. Me being 5 generations and my grandkids making it 7. I speak in support of the city's proposed city budget. It has been amended, hashed, and rehashed over 7 workshops, and in my opinion, there's been a considerable give and take during that process. I applaud everyone who played a role in creating this budget, especially the staff, as well as all the diligence by each and every council member. My grandfather was a former mayor, and my dad was a 2-decade councilman. So I have a sense of what your job is, and its pressure and the stress it entails. Unfortunately, there's been way too much slander, disrespect, and even threats over all of this undertaking, mostly by citizens who are hiding behind their keyboards on social media. I ask each council member to support this budget because it surely is a compromise budget and it's the right thing to do. Let's get on with making Rockport what it can be. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson. Carl Brown.
My name is Carl Brown. I reside at 732 South Carl Street. I would like to take this opportunity to express my gratitude to Andrew King and his family for their dedications and concern for the city of Rockport. The involvement of Andrew King and his family in local government has inspired me to become more engaged matters. Their commitment to the well-being of our city look more deeply into the governmental affairs and issues affecting Rockport. Over the course of the last 2 meetings, I have shared several observations and points that I uncovered through hours of research. My intuition has played a significant role in guiding my effort in helping me identify areas that deserve attention.
Thank you, sir. Nancy Bolding.
My name is Nancy Bolting. I live at 201 Spanish Woods, Rockport, Texas. This is not about the budget. I respectfully request a policy change regarding the current requirements for speakers addressing the Rockport City Council to publicly state their home address. While I understand the intent is to verify residency, requiring individuals to announce their exact home address in a public forum raises significant privacy and safety concerns. In today's environment, where online harassment and physical threats have unfortunately become more common, publicly disclosing a home address exposes residents to unnecessary risks. This concern is heightened when speakers who are not residents of the City of Rockport use this public forum to instigate online harassment or target residents after a City Council meeting or workshop. Instead, I propose allowing speakers to identify themselves by the name and ward of residency. This approach maintains transparency, confirms the speakers are stakeholders in our community, while safeguarding the safety and privacy of our residents. Many cities have already adopted similar practices, balancing accountability with the need to protect residents from potential misuse of publicly shared personal information. I urge the council to consider amending the public comment policies.
Thank you, appreciate it. I have one from Mr. John Halliburton that says, can you please add shopping centers, hotels, restaurants, and recreation centers, transportation centers, rail stations, apartments, convenience stores, condos, skyscrapers, office buildings, and other facilities? Thank you.
I have one for Kristie Rutledge. This is going to be on agenda item number 5. I have reviewed the city's budget workshop documents, recorded workshop meetings, and the updated tax rate notice on the city's website. I would like to thank city staff and council for working together in budget adjustments that facilitated lowering the proposed tax rate. For future years, I hope staff will not increase the INS debt service and rate as suggested by the city's financial planner. The best way the city can help people prosper here in Rockport is to keep the tax rate as low as possible while still funding the budget to provide essential infrastructure, services, and amenities that residents and visitors need and expect. While I don't like tax increases, I believe the final proposed tax rate achieves that important balance. Thank you to city staff and council for your diligent work on behalf of the Rockport citizens. Kristie Rutledge, this is going to be on agenda item number 7. I have reviewed the city's budget, capital improvement plan, the city manager's latest monthly report, the budget workshop documents, and watched recorded budget workshop meetings. I had several questions which were answered promptly by the city manager and my city councilman, Brad Brungerette. The city's budget and financial documents are much more transparent and easier to locate on the website than in prior years. I would like to thank the police chief and other staff members for recommending changes to the city's proposed budget that facilitated in lowering the proposed INS tax rate. I appreciate that the city has obtained several large grants to help fund infrastructure and drainage projects, that many important streets and drainage projects are included in the budget. I'm also glad that the salary study will be implemented this year. In subsequent budget years, I would like the city to consider zero-based budgeting and more limited pay increases only based on merit and not salary studies. I thank the staff and council for the work you're doing to be more transparent with the annual budget and for taking care of the important infrastructure projects.
Next item on the agenda is ceremonial matters. Ms. Shrauner.
We have Tenure Tuesday, and I have 2 awards. I guess I'll get on the
Access that microphone right
Right, I'll just be loud. So I've said it before, I'll say it again, we value all of our employees, but we are really grateful for the ones that stay with us for any amount of time, and it just happens to be cops today, but we're grateful they're here, we're grateful they've stuck with us, and I'm really proud of the work that you guys do. So the first one is Amos Meissner. Has been with us for 10 years. So we're really proud to have you. Thank you very much. And then Officer Gerloff. He's been with us for 5 years. So we're really proud of you guys, and thank you very much for sticking with us.
I found out recently something I hadn't known for sure. I had heard it mentioned once or twice, but it was kind of an interesting conversation I had with people from the Maritime Museum. I was told that Texas had a Navy at one point in time, and we're going to celebrate the Texas Navy. I was curious why we didn't have a Texas Air Force, because that's where I spent a little bit of time at one time in my life. I guess they didn't have airplanes back then. But we've got a proclamation for Texas Navy time, Navy, and a celebration that will take place this weekend. Whereas during the period leading up to the Texas Revolution, the Texians recognized that the naval force was essential to guard the Gulf Coast and defend Texas coastline from incursion. And whereas the First Texas Navy, comprising the schooners Liberty, Independence, Invincible, and Brutus, played a pivotal role in securing Texas independence despite none of these vessels surviving the conflict. And the First Texas Navy's efforts contributed to the decisive victory at San Jacinto. And whereas the Second Texas Navy, including the ships Zavala, protected critical supply lines, repelled Mexican naval forces, and achieved notable successes such as the Battle of Campeche. And today, the Texas Maritime Museum, located in Rockport, and the official Maritime Museum of the state of Texas, houses the only boiler remains of the Zavala, and serves as home to the TNS Zavala Squadron of the Texas Navy Association, preserving the legacy and mission of the Texas Navy. And whereas each year on the third Saturday of September, Texas celebrates Texian Navy Day to remember the brave soldiers who helped make Texas a bastion of liberty and opportunity. And whereas this year the Texas Maritime Museum will honor the Texas Navy with a program at the museum on September 13th and an expanded Texas Navy exhibit that will be in place through the end of the year. Now therefore, I, Tim J. Rowe, Mayor of the City of Rockport, do hereby proclaim September 13th through the 20th, 2025 as Texas Navy Week. I encourage all citizens, civic organizations, educational institutions, and visitors to participate and support the events of the Texas Maritime Museum. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand on the official seal of the City of Rockport on this 9th day of September, 2025, and if those of you representing the Navy can come up about where the podium is, well, I'll present this to you, and they'll get some pictures for you.
Mr. Mayor, I'm Tom Rodino. I'm the president of the Board of Trustees for the Maritime Museum, and I'm also a member of the Texas Navy. Michael Abels here is the executive director of the museum. Shelley Nossman is our education director. Miranda Kinsellas here is our communications manager and a whole bunch of other things. And then Brad Chilcote is also with the Texas Navy Association. He is the commander of the local squadron, which is housed at the Maritime Museum. Basically, the two organizations are working together to preserve the history of the Texas Navy and Texas maritime coastal history. That's our goal.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Anybody that's been through the Maritime Museum lately knows it's a wonderful facility and a really important part of what Rockport is all about. So I appreciate y'all. If we get back this way far enough, people can get around and get a picture. You have a certificate that you can take with you.
Thank you so much.
Got a couple.
Thank you, we appreciate it. Next item is a consent agenda. Following items may be acted upon in a single motion. No separate discussion or action on any of these items will be held unless pulled at the request of a member of the city council. Anyone wish to pull either of those? Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda as
I
read.
have a motion, I have a second.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further question? Now we'll call for a vote. Ward 1,
Aye.
Ward 2,
Aye.
Ward 3,
Aye.
Ward 4.
Aye.
Mayor, aye. It is unanimous. Next item on the agenda, if you have a copy, is item number 5, and it's mostly a notification that there is a new regulation that the state passed regarding publishing and the location of some of the things that you see related to a budget. And we will go on to item 6 because this is one of the ones that it addresses and tells you where the publication of it might be, and there's some interesting things you will see. The email address is on there, and if I read that to you, nobody's gonna get it all right anyway, because I'll leave out a comma or a backslash or something. Item number 6, proposed 2025 tax rate of .426475 per $100. The rate is composed of a maintenance and operations rate of .23140 per $100. And interest and sinking fund rate of .195072 per $100. Do I have the,
No.
go ahead, Rob.
Open up for public hearing?
There is not one on this year. It comes up on number 7.
No, there's a public hearing here, and then we won't consider the tax rate until Friday.
Okay. Yes, I see it now that I get to the next page. I marked out some things, so they said you don't have to read those, and I marked out that line too, so, anyway. All right, you have heard the reading of the thing. There's a public hearing. You do not have to have signed up to discuss this if you're here to talk about the rates that we just read off. You're welcome to do it. Anyone wishing to speak on the subject? This is a public hearing time. If we have no one, we will close the public hearing. This item is going to be addressed later. The next item on the agenda is fiscal year 2025-26 budget. Holding a public hearing to receive comments for or against the proposed fiscal year 2026 budget. For y'all's information, this is what you will be discussing here in just a moment, and then Robbie will have a couple of words for us. Consider approval on the only reading of Ordinance 1992, adopting a budget, appropriating resources for fiscal year 2025-2026, beginning October 1st, 2025, and ending September 30th, 2026, in accordance with existing statutory requirements, repealing all conflicting ordinances containing a severability clause, and providing an effective date. This is a public hearing on that rate. Does anyone wish to address the council on this matter? This is the open of the public hearing. If not, Vanessa, Robbie, one of y'all.
And if you want to close the public hearing.
Okay, it's closed. Nobody can.
Mayor and council, the public hearing you just held was for the adoption of the budget. I'm going to kind of go through this rather quickly. I do think everybody has a very good knowledge of the budget and what has been proposed, so I just have a few slides to remind us of where we are. We'll go back to where we've come from, because I'll be here a while. I can only have so much time. We're gonna do a rehearsal at the next council meeting. Apparently it's different every time. You know, it's right here. If you can just flip through it here for me, I can just talk on it, no problem. Oh, there it is. Oh, there we go. Okay. Again, Mayor and Council, we've spent a lot of time on this, so I'm not gonna bore you with details or going through specifics. I'm gonna hit the high points, and then if you have questions, we would be happy to answer those. This item is strictly for the budget. This is not a vote on the tax rate. This is a vote on the budget. The tax rate vote will happen on Friday. And I can talk a little bit about that if you want to, but, the budget is based on a rate of 0.426475, which we, discussed at our last workshop, lowering it down from the 0.44 and change. So that's what we built this budget on. After you adopt this budget today, you will then be asked to adopt the tax rate on Friday. And then at the next council meeting, you'll have the second reading of the tax rate and you'll ratify this budget. So there's a whole process for how everything gets done, but we're voting on a budget that is tied to that tax rate right now. It's a little over $4.6 million. We've discussed that extensively. That's all of our funds. Enterprise funds, general fund, and all of our funds. That's everything is the $46 million. Reserves, everything. We've hit the capital projects that we're gonna do this year. We have to reimburse ourselves for the mold at the fire department. We've discussed that extensively. We've moved the V&E to M&O. We talked about that. We took out the police radios. Starting the Austin Street planning, ordering a new belt press for the wastewater treatment plant. That's one that you don't want to do without. Magnolia Street resurface, Market Street redo, Enterprise drainage and street repairs, Bayshore and Broadway erosion. We've pulled that back a little bit because of the private property issues that we might run into there. We do want to protect our investment. Drainage in the country club, and then reuse pipe at Memorial Park. I want to remind everybody that this is a project bucket. So if reuse water comes in at $200,000, I'm not gonna go and spend $300,000 more just on the project because that's what it was allocated for. It's a bucket. We'll pull from the bucket to get to accomplish all of these goals. We think we're pretty close, but we also know that their estimates and things change. Operation priorities, we've gone over these a few times. Compensation study, health insurance premiums went up about $75,000, windstorm insurance, and then adding about 14 days to the reserves. We'll have a really solid number on the days of the reserve as a whole as soon as we complete the 2024 audit. Then we'll have a solid number for you. It should be good, but we're gonna add the 14 days. Remember, we also intend to add the funds from the sale of the gas department to the reserves. So that'll give us another little boost. We'll come back to you with a really solid number when we have it. Out of the budget right now, we're planning on 14 days.
That it?
Switch it for me. There you go. We talked also about reloading, restructuring the debt that we intend to take, about $5 million. And we are gonna backload that so that, I have a pointer on here. We'll have a pointer on here. But we'll even out our debt, kind of mountain more by backloading the debt that we take this year. Right, we'll peak down, right there, instead of up where the, go straight up with your pointer. Keep going right there, instead of peaking right there with this year's debt, it'll make it more even across the board. Does everybody understand what we've talked about with this? Is there further explanation needed? Because I can find other words if we need to go through it more. Okay. And then the final slide I have is just, I can't thank staff and council enough for your work on this budget. We put about a good 4 months into it and then redid it in about 4 days. And I think we've done a really good job, and we've come up with a solid product that compromises for everybody and gets most everybody what they want. So I'm happy to take questions on it, or comments.
Questions, council? Allow me to read the caption once again for clarity before we vote. Consider approval on the only reading of Ordinance 1992, adopting a budget appropriating resources for fiscal year 2025-2026, beginning October 1st, 2025, and ending September 30th, 2026, in accordance with existing statutory requirements, repealing all conflicting ordinances containing a severability clause, and providing for an effective date. What's your pleasure, council?
Just for your information right now, budget is only read once per our charter.
And I just, real quick, before we go to the motion, I know you had to ask if we want to clarify why we're not doing the actual tax rate tonight. Can you maybe just clarify just for the citizens why we're not doing that tonight and moving it till Friday?
I'd be happy to do that. If you look at your caption on your agenda, the first sentence has the tax rate correct, the breakout correct. But if you read further down, the breakout is incorrect. the total is correct, and we think that there wouldn't be an issue with going forward with it tonight. But just to be abundantly safe and abundantly clear in what rate we're adopting, we want to move that to Friday so that there's no confusion among anybody about what tax rate we're adopting. So there's conflicting information on the agenda, and we don't wanna proceed with that.
And that's Friday at 12, correct?
Friday at noon, will you fix lunch? No, you will not have lunch, bring your own.
And this is, just make the motion to approve the budget, not the actual tax rate. Again, just to reiterate that. So I do make a motion to approve agenda item number 7.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I was second.
A motion and a second. Any further question? If not, we'll call for a vote. Ward 1,
Aye.
Ward 2,
Aye.
Ward 3,
Aye.
Ward 4.
Aye.
Mayor, aye. It is unanimous. Next item on the agenda, ordinances, resolutions, and public hearings. Consider approval on second and final reading of ordinance 1989 granting conditional use permit for the purpose of adding 5 1,200-foot cabins, 2 RV spaces, and an equipment shop approximately 2,300 square feet for use by family members currently zoned R1 First Single Family Dwelling District with condition the requested improvements are not used for rental purposes until such time the application submits, or the applicant submits for an amendment to the CUP for use purpose, and will at that time be required to adhere to current RV park regulations. Property located at 1601 16th Street, also known as Lot 78R, Block 254, and Schwickheimer subdivision, being 9.99 acres, subject to compliance with the conditions stated within this ordinance, as well as those stipulated in the City of Rockport Code of Ordinances, repealing all ordinances in conflict therewith, providing for severability, providing an effective date. Mr. Decker.
Good evening. There are no changes in the ordinance between the first and second reading.
All right, thank you. Council, any questions? What's your pleasure?
Move to approve item 8 as presented.
I have a motion. I have a
I will
second.
second.
A motion and a second. Any further question? Call for a vote. Ward 1,
Aye.
Ward 2,
Aye.
Ward 3,
Aye.
Ward 4.
Aye.
Mayor, aye. It is unanimous. Item number 9, consider approval on second and final reading of ordinance number 1988, granting a conditional use permit for purpose of adding 3 cabins, 2 RV spaces, and equipment shop for use by family members currently zoned R1 First Single Family Dwelling District, with the condition the requested improvements are not used for rental purposes until such times the applicant resubmits an amendment to the CUP for such purposes, and will at that time be required to adhere to current RV park regulations. Property located at 1585 16th Street, also known as Lot 77-A, Block 204 in Schwickheimer subdivision, being 7.18 acres, subject to compliance with the conditions stated within this ordinance, as well as those stipulated in City of Rockport Code of Ordinances, repealing all ordinances in conflict therewith, providing for severability, and providing an effective date. Mr. Decker.
Good evening again. There are no changes in the ordinance between the first and second reading.
Thank you.
Move to approve item 9
I
as
have a
presented.
motion. Do I have a second?
I was second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further question? We'll then call for a vote. Ward 1,
Aye.
Ward 2,
Aye.
Ward 3,
Aye.
Ward 4.
Aye.
Mayor, aye. It is unanimous. Item number 10, consider approval on the second and final reading of ordinance number 1987, amending the official zoning map as stipulated under Article 4.1 of the City of Rockport zoning ordinance number 1027 by changing the zoning of land from R1 First Single Family Dwelling District for property located at 102 St. Francis Circle, also known as Damasco Subdivision, Block 1, Lot 2, 3.4446 acres, City of Rockport, Aransas County, Texas to B1 General Business District, repealing all ordinances in conflict therewith, providing for severability, providing an effective date. Mr. Decker.
Good evening again. Since the first reading, we did have a handout sent to everybody. There was one person that responded via email or message, I don't know how it was. It was an email, it says they have no issue with the rezoning. Also, there is a preliminary site layout of what could possibly go there for the outdoor storage, to let everybody know what it would look like in conjunction with the piece of property.
Thank you, sir. Questions, council?
I guess I just have a comment. Thank you for sending the plans. That was my only setback, is that there was no plans and there was no really good information on why they were asking for that. So having that in my hands really helped me move forward and being okay with that decision. So thank you for sending those. So I make a motion to approve agenda item number 10.
I will second. A motion and a second. Any further question? Call for a vote. Ward 1.
Aye.
Ward 2.
Aye.
Ward 3. Aye. Ward 4.
Aye.
Mayor, aye. It is unanimous. Item number 12, consider the approval of first reading ordinance 1990, amending City of Rockport Code of Ordinances, Chapter 106, Tree and Landscape Committee, Article in General, Section 106-5, Tree and Landscape Committee, to realign the committee members and further providing for an effective date, reading, severance, and publication. Ms. Henry.
Yes, sir. Just wanted to let you know, on the ordinance that was presented, there was one typographical error on page 2 of the ordinance. It was a typographical, and just that in the middle of page 2 where it starts section 3, the 106-5 Tree and Landscape Committee should not have been typed there. It was just a typographical error. Other than that, this is being brought to you just because we have difficulty reaching a quorum sometimes. We're looking at maybe changing the mix-up so that we didn't require a P&Z and a tree. We currently have a tree committee person on, parks committee person. We currently have someone from the parks, but we're having difficulty getting someone from the P&Z. So we just wanted to open that up to get more people from the public involved, and that way maybe we can get a little bit more active.
Yes, thank you. I guess I'll speak because I'm the liaison for the tree committee. It's hard to get quorum when we do have to call, and it's because we have that requirement with the P&Z and Parks and Rec. And so I would like just to see more availability so we can get more people onto that board, so when we do have to call it, we can have that quorum. A lot of our boards and commissions have all the same people, so I think their plates get really full, and it's really hard for them to keep showing up to all these committees. So if we can get more people active, that would be great. But I think this will help just, a step forward on this one committee as right now. So thank you. And with that, I would like to make a motion just to consider or to approve agenda number 12, please.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further question? Call for a vote. Ward 1.
Aye.
Ward 2.
Aye.
Ward 3.
Aye.
Ward 4.
Aye.
Mayor, aye. It is unanimous. We'll go back to number 11, which I carelessly skipped over. I'm not sure why, but did. Consider the approval on the second and final reading ordinance number 1982, amending the City of Rockport Code of Ordinances, Chapter 82, Solid Waste, Article 2, Refuse Collection, Section 82.39, Fee Schedule, setting new fees for service, repealing all prior ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for publication and an effective date.
No change, Mayor, Council.
All right. Thanks, sir. Council, what's your pleasure?
Move to approve item 11 as presented.
Have a motion to have a second.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further question? We'll call for a vote. Ward 1.
Aye.
Ward 2.
Aye.
Ward 3.
Aye.
Ward 4.
Aye.
Mayor, aye. It's unanimous. Item number 13, consider the approval of Resolution 2025-35R, designating the official mailing and electronic mail addresses for recipient of Public Information Act requests, designating Public Information Act coordinators, directing notice to the City Attorney General and providing an effective date. Ms. Goodwin?
So this year at the 89 Texas legislative session, they passed a House bill which was 4214. And that House bill requires that governmental bodies are required to submit who handles open records requests, Public Information Act, for their city. So you have to submit it by October the 1st to the AG's office. And since Rockport has split how they handle their open records request, the police department handles their own because of all of their strict requirements, and I handle everything else within the city. So we did a resolution which would include our required information you have to give them, as well as email addresses that you have to provide. And we also listed who handles for the police department, which is Lisa Daly, and then who will handle for the rest of the city. So it's just a requirement.
Okay. Questions, council?
I move to approve a resolution of the City Council of the City of Rockport, Texas, designating the official mailing and electronic mail addresses for receipt of Public Information Act request, designating Public Information Act coordinators, directing notice to the Texas Attorney General, and providing an effective date.
Have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Have a second. Any further question? And we'll call for a vote. Ward 1?
Aye.
Ward 2? Ward 2?
Aye.
Ward 3?
Aye.
Ward 4?
Aye.
Mayor, aye, it's unanimous. Other action items and updates. Item number 14, consider approval of 4th Street water line extension. Mr. Picarazzi.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. I'm here seeking approval tonight for a project we have at the 4th Street Water Tower. It's extending a water line roughly 300 foot past the county's ditch that they just dug here recently last year. We're having some water issues over there. We want to put a designated flush valve at the end of it, but every time we flush, it's eroding the ditch. So we don't want to knock sediment into that ditch. So we're going to bore underneath that ditch and get on the other side and build a pad there. But it's also going to open us up for extension of that water line and open up some development when we pretty much set us up for the future is what we're trying to do. It'll give us some opportunities to loop in some lines there also and open it up for some new taps, really. We're gonna replace a couple of valves while we're at it. We got 3 bids. Mercer Construction was the low bid at $89,370. So we're looking for approval to do that. And it will come out of this year's budget.
Okay. Questions, council? What's your pleasure?
I move to approve item 14 as presented.
Have a motion. To have a second?
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further question? If not, we'll call for a vote. Ward 1?
Aye.
Ward 2?
Aye.
Ward 3?
Aye.
Ward 4?
Aye.
Mayor, aye. It is unanimous. Item number 15, consider approval of a request from the Tree and Landscape Committee to utilize funds from the Tree Preservation and Mitigation account for the lease of a billboard for the purpose of educating citizens as to the tree ordinances of the City of Rockport, Town of Fulton, Aransas County, for an amount not to exceed $10,800. Ms. Henry.
Yes, ma'am, council, thank you. This is one of those items we kept trying to bring to the committee, the tree committee, and it took us about 2 to 3 weeks to get it on their agenda, just trying to get it for them, so bringing home that. This is actually a follow-up to last year's agenda item. Last year we did 2 billboards. This year we only want to do 1 at this time. We're looking for a new location and maybe a new look for the next time. But for this year, we're looking at this pad site that's at the location, let me find it. Right there. 3801 Highway 35 near the U-Haul store. And for the annual amount, it did go up from $9,700 and change to $10,800.
questions, council?
I'll make a motion to approve agenda number 16, or 15, sorry. Thank you.
Have a motion, have a second.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further question? Call for vote. Ward 1,
Aye.
Ward 2,
Aye.
Ward 3,
Aye.
Ward 4.
Aye.
Mayor, aye, it is unanimous. Item number 16 can't be completed today because the audit hasn't been delivered to our finance director. City manager update.
I have a couple things for y'all. I want to reiterate that the tax rate will be presented for adoption this Friday, the 12th at noon in this room. There is no public hearing as we held that tonight, but you will have a citizen comment section. The other thing, couple of things, we got 2 grants, $3.4 million from the GLO to enhance the Concho Street drainage project. The mayor, Kimberly, and I believe Ryan went and picked that up last week. And then we also have another $3.3 million from the GLO coming in to do some upgrades on Thule Lake. So there's all kinds of drainage construction going on. We've been had grants in the queue for years, and now they're just seeming to come through to fruition. And then the other thing is, it is Councilmember Brundrett's birthday, and doesn't look a day over 46, so. 27, yes, that's what I heard. So, wish him happy birthday if you feel like it.
Thank you.
All right. Next item is reports from council, Ward 1.
Vanessa forgot to mention my birthday.
Today?
It's the 7th. But
No, hold on. Coming up on the 7th, we have. Oh, 2 days ago was Councilmember Rangel's birthday, and she absolutely doesn't look a day over 24.
She's much younger than him.
Absolutely.
this is true. No, I have nothing to report. Just, appreciation for staff and everything we did, wrapping everything up this budget season, and to the council as well. So thank you.
Ward 2.
Thank you, everybody. I had the distinct pleasure, my wife and I were invited to the Humane Society and Adoption Center for Rockport and Fulton's event last Friday night. And I've been fortunate to be able to go to that for quite a few years. Had a great time, saw a lot of folks there. And just a reminder for everyone, as we're with our busy lives and everything we're doing, don't forget the Humane Society is always looking for donations and assistance of all types of things. It's available on their website, and just would like to thank them again for inviting my wife and I to another great event.
Thank you. Ward 3.
Nothing at this time, Mayor.
Ward 4.
Just kind of go off. Thank you, the staff and council, for working with this budget this year. I know budget's always, it's up and down, and we got through it, I think, almost, and we're almost there, and I think we've came up with a good compromise, and we just have to look forward. I am looking forward to seeing all the projects being done, and for the citizens to be happy with what their money's going towards. So I'm just really excited to seeing that, and thank you, everyone, and let's just keep on rolling on to the next thing.
I was asked to be sure and remind you that the Texas Maritime Museum is going to be the setting for the Texas Texian Navy celebration this weekend. It'll be from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. this Saturday at Maritime Museum. So go down there and see it, and show your patriotism for the Navy, and maybe one day they'll have an Air Force. It'll be all right. Fred?
One thing, if you don't mind. This Thursday, September 11th at 10 a.m., which is Thursday, there'll be a 9/11 remembrance ceremony hosted by the Rockport GI Forum to commemorate those who lost their lives and those who were forever changed on 9/11. So that'll be down at Aransas County Veterans Park, right next door, and that is Thursday at 10 a.m. Sorry about that. Thanks, Mayor.
That's all right. I had that and didn't get to it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Anything else for the good of the order? Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to
Adjourn, and I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. It is 5:46 and we're adjourned.